252 million years ago, the planet didn't end with an asteroid. It suffocated, the Permian-Triassic boundary. That's what we call it here in the museum, this razor-thin layer of rock that marks the moment life on Earth nearly stopped existing altogether. Between these two strata, 96% of all marine species vanished. 96%. On land, it was even worse. And the culprit wasn't some distant space rock hurtling through the void. It was something far more terrestrial, far more violent, and far more sustained. A volcanic catastrophe so immense that it makes Mount Vesuvius look like a candle. Let me rewind. 252 million years ago, in what's now Siberia, the frozen, remote expanse of Russia, something began to stir beneath the crust. Deep magma chambers, pressurized over millennia, had reached a breaking point. And then, around 251, 9 million years before our time, the Earth simply opened. What erupted became known as the Siberian Traps. Not a single volcano, not even a cluster. This was a volcanic province the size of the European Union. Roughly 2 million square kilometers of lava flows, ash columns, and toxic gas release that would persist, unrelenting, for perhaps a million years. The eruptions didn't announce themselves with a single catastrophic bang. Instead, they came in pulses, waves of magma intrusion that broke through the surface again and again. Each pulse lasted thousands of years. Each one released gases that transformed the atmosphere itself. Here's where it gets specific. The Siberian Traps didn't just erupt basalt and ash. They released something far deadlier: carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and methane. Greenhouse gases on a scale that dwarfs anything the industrial age has produced. Billions of tons of CO2 poured into the atmosphere over centuries. The immediate effect was warming. Global temperatures spiked by perhaps 6 degrees Celsius, enough to trigger a cascade of ecological collapse. Oceans acidified from the CO2 absorption. Oxygen levels plummeted. Coral reefs, which had flourished for hundreds of millions of years, simply ceased to exist. But here's the irony that historians often miss. The warming phase was only the opening act. As the eruptions continued, ash and aerosols accumulated in the stratosphere, blocking sunlight. The world didn't just get hotter, it got darker, dimmer, colder. A volcanic winter that lasted not days, but years. Photosynthesis collapsed. Plants died. The food chains that had sustained complex life for 300 million years shattered. Herbivores starved. Carnivores followed. In the oceans, the combination of warming, acidification, and oxygen depletion created dead zones so vast that only the hardiest microbes could survive. 96% of marine life, 70% of terrestrial vertebrate families. Insects, usually so resilient, experienced near-total extinction. This wasn't a gradual decline. Geological evidence shows that in some regions, the transition happened in less than 100,000 years. A blink in geological time. What makes this event so crucial to understanding is that it wasn't unique to Earth's history, but it was the worst. The Permian extinction stands as the most severe mass extinction event we've ever documented, and we know its cause with unusual certainty: volcanism, atmospheric chemistry, and cascading ecological collapse. The recovery took millions of years. When life did re-emerge from the ashes, literally, the world was unrecognizable. Dinosaurs, which had been minor players before the extinction, suddenly had ecological space to flourish. The Triassic period that followed belonged to them. Without the Siberian Traps, there would be no dinosaurs, and without dinosaurs, no asteroid impact 66 million years later, and without that impact, well, we wouldn't be here. The extinction that nearly ended all life became, paradoxically, the doorway to our own existence. That's the hidden irony locked in these rocks. The Siberian Traps still exist today. You can visit them, walk across lava fields that erupted 250 million years ago, stand where the planet nearly died, and understand that extinction events aren't abstract concepts. They're written into the geology beneath our feet. Every time we drill into the Permian-Triassic boundary, we find the same story. A world transformed by forces so massive, so sustained, that life had to completely reinvent itself. It's a reminder that the planet's history isn't a gentle progression. It's punctuated by cataclysms that reshape everything. Subscribe for more forgotten chapters of Earth's history, the ones that explain how our world came to be, one extinction at a time. Subscribe every week. We uncover the cataclysms and forgotten moments that shaped the world you inherit.